Hello, functions. Okay, so today is our second day in class. We went ahead and went into our Chromebooks. So if you go into your Chromebook and open up Canvas, there should be a sign up for you depending on your period. So what you're going to want to do is go into Canvas, go into modules, and then go into course materials. And let's say you're in my first period class. So you're going to click on first period. It'll open up, and then you just click right on there. If you need a access code because you came from a completely different class, not a functions class, or you came from online, let me know and I will help you with that. Otherwise, go ahead and do that. The assignment has not been assigned yet. It's not ready for us, but I wanted us to get into it. Okay, so we're going to start with our notes. So the basic thing is we are going to be using finding how to do perfect squares and then higher powers. We're going to go up from there. So what I want you to do is I would like you to find all of those numbers. They are on my wall. So go ahead and hit pause and find 1 squared, 2 squared, and so forth. Okay, so now that you found those, let's go ahead and find the next one. So we are going to find all of the cubes. Now remember, on my wall, I have 10 on down. So 1 cubed is 1, 2 cubed is 8, 27, 64, 125, is it 216? Yes, 216. Now remember, we're doing all of this without a calculator. So, and then I'm going to just jump, I go ahead and fill those ones in, and then we're going to jump to 1,000. So 10 to the third power is 1,000. So to get to 11 cubed, actually I'm going to do 13 because it looks a little bit different. So I'm going to take, and if I'm doing this without a calculator, I can do 13 times 13 times 13. I could do that. Or I can take what I know, I already know what 13 squared is. I can do 169 and then multiply that by 13. So I'm going to do this longhand because when I'm doing bigger numbers like this and as I get bigger, it's a little bit easier for me. If you guys may be doing multiplication with like the area model, you may use lattice. I don't actually care what strategy you use as long as you use a strategy. So I'm going to show you mine. So I'm going to do 3 times 9, which is 27. I put the 7 here and I carry the 2 over. So you put the 1s down and you carry the 10s. And then I'm going to do 3 times 6, which is 18. And then I'm going to add the 2, which is 20. I'm going to put a 0 here because that's in the 1s, but I'm going to carry the 2. And then 3 times 1, which is 3, and then I add this 2, which is 5. Okay, so I've already done this 3, so I put a 0 here. And actually, let me erase that 13 times 13 times 13, because that's what we're doing right now. And now I need to do 1 times 9, which is 9. Then 1 times 6, which is 6. And then 1 times 1, which is 1. Something that students do by accident is sometimes they forget that they've already taken care of those, so you have to be careful with that. All right, so now I'm going to add these two numbers together. So 7 plus 0 is 7. 0 plus 9 is 9. 5 plus 6 is 11. So I write down the 1, carry the 1, and then 1 plus 1 is 2. So 13 cubed is 2,197. This is just old school longhand multiplication. I'm covering this now because I found out last year that some students didn't know how to do this or didn't have their own strategy. I am going to be asking you to do stuff like this without a calculator, so that's why we're taking the time today to do that. So I would like you to finish the ones that are missing and then finish, here I'll erase, so it's 2197. 1 second, let me hit pause, hold on. So I would like you to finish the ones that aren't filled out, and then if you need to, you can check your answers with a calculator so you have them in your notebook, but that's all you need to do. This is just taking time, practicing finding higher powers without a calculator. This is going to come into play because, so you can go ahead and hit pause and finish doing that. I'm going to move on to the next piece of notes that we did. So we covered, we talked about the opposite of squaring, which is the inverse, right? Which is the square root. And basically what we're saying is the square root of 36 is equal to 6 because 6 to the second power is equal to 36. So remember, when we look at a square root, there's like this imaginary, or not imaginary, that's the wrong word, invisible 2 that is implied, kind of like how there's a 1 in front of this b that we don't see, right? It's invisible. So we're going to be using this information, so go ahead and jot this down. We're going to be using this so we will be able to find any root, because we're going to know how to find higher powers, and we're going to be able to do that over and over again. So that's why we took the time to do the long multiplication, because we are going to need to be able to do that backwards and forwards. So we want to be able to get to that number, given a number, and we want to be able to undo it as well. So use the inverse of it. If you have any questions, come to class with questions. Otherwise, I will see you all tomorrow.